Hi, I've never done a video like this before and I need your help. I believe that we need to find Hillary and ask her to stop bullying children. Hang in there with me in a minute because I'm going to tell you a precise message that I need to get into Secretary Clinton's hands. So here's the deal. If anyone knows how to do this, if you know how to tweet her, email her, send it to her, knock on the White House door and say, please get this to Secretary Clinton, send it in your dog's mouth, whatever, please help me get this out because bullying has to stop in our country. And Hillary Clinton has put something out there that will bully children. I'm not big in social media at all. I don't know how to tweet. I don't know how to do this, so I'm counting on anyone that sees this. Please help me. Now, this is my message to Secretary Clinton, and I'm going to watch my notes on my computer so I get what I need to say from my heart really directly, hopefully, into her ears. My name is Kaye Smith. I'm the founder of Reclaim Global. For over 20 years, I've worked with victims of sexual abuse. Many of those victims were also bullied as children. I traveled through their emotional trenches with them. I know the damage that sexual abuse can cause and what bullies can do to a child. Here's my message to Secretary Clinton. Secretary Clinton, I'm pleading with you to please remove one of your ads in your campaign immediately. I believe it is detrimental to all children, especially if it gets into the hands of bullies. And it is also hard for those who actually suffer from body dysmorphic disorders. The verbiage heard in your commercial will become dangerous in the hands of millions and millions of bullies. You have given them a munitions storehouse of hate terms that they can use against flat-chested, big butt, sloppy, overweight children. Secretary Clinton, that is so wrong. Frankly, my heart broke when I saw this ad on TV, played over and over and over. As we both know, today millions of children suffer with body shaming issues, even low self-esteem, self-hate, cutting, and bully is at its all-time worst in our country. And that's just to name a few. I am not going to put a link to your ad in my video here because I want to minimize any exposure to it. But I have to say this, when I tested it with just a handful of my friends, and I just mentioned, have you heard a commercial that talks about girls being flat-chested with big butts or something? 4 or 5 of them immediately knew, everyone that was sitting around me immediately knew which one I was talking about. And that tells me that that commercial has saturated our earth, and it is very disturbing to realize that. This ad has to be pulled immediately, and I know you know the one I'm talking about, and the repair work has to start right away. The kids that were in this ad with their beautiful innocent faces, mark my word, down the road they will get bullied because of the issues that your ad called attention to on their bodies. That is wrong. That is so wrong. Worse, I believe this ad will eventually trickle down into the hands of millions and millions of bullies. It gives them a whole new arsenal of hate words to use, and they will be using them on our playground, in our school, in their communities. How sad is that? To be objective, I got the flimsy point of your ad because I'm an adult who has the capability to maneuver through the tall weeds of campaign stupidity. This ad was a hoax, a creative idea that someone had, but I believe it has backfired. The ultimate point will hurt our children. Besides, excuse me, besides, anyone who saw this ad knows that for the most part, the majority of the words spoken have a root in the verbal war that began, I think, in 2006 between Donald Trump and Rosie O'Donnell. She was equally as callous in her comments to him. But that was 2 adults bullying each other. If we followed the thinking that your ad had, Should we not use the words of Miss O'Donnell and speak that over our sons? And the conclusion would be, we don't want our sons to be around comedians like this. That would be wrong too. I don't think Miss O'Donnell would ever want the words she used, the verbal slanders she used and hurled back at Donald Trump, to be a voiceover featuring young children. At least that's how I think about it. Secretary Clinton, frankly, I don't think this ad was from you. I would fire whoever created that ad for you. To me, it doesn't appear that on your behalf they considered the fallout consequences that can become long-term. I would guess that your agency ran this through focus groups, possibly using questions like, hey, do you get the political point of this ad? I would imagine a question like that would get a resounding yes, because I got your political point. However, you should have included the breadth and the width of what focus group questions should be like, and in this case, it should have been asked to children. First question, do you believe these girls in this ad really have these issues? I wouldn't be surprised, because the acting was so superb, if the focus group children would say, yeah, I believe they do have these issues. Another question, do you believe that when these actors go back to their communities, their homes, their neighborhoods, their schools, that kids might tease them for having big butts, flat chests, being overweight, being fat? That's pretty serious to me. I believe these children in the focus group, if asked that type of question, would say sure. When they go back into their homes, their neighborhoods, people are going to tease them for what they acted out in Hillary Clinton's commercial. Focus group questions should also included the question about the character of bullies. Just a general question. Hey kids, forget the actresses in this commercial. Do you think that the bullies who hear it will also use these words and just apply it to anyone that they see that has a big butt or has a flat chest? That gets this commercial into tragedy, because I believe with my whole heart that children who would answer a focus group question like that would tell you immediately, absolutely, bullies will target children with the same body identities that they saw in your commercials. The children they see on the schoolyard will become the bully's victim. Here's another question that should have been asked in your focus group. To the mothers who agreed to have their children in this ad, they should have been asked, now if this ad has a high possibility of putting your children at risk for bullying, for having big butts, for being overweight, for looking like a slob, for being flat-chested, would you really care if your child was bullied over that? I know any decent mother would have pulled her child from that ad immediately. But the reality is, your agency should have told that to the mothers and should have given them the option as to whether or not they would want their children to endure what I believe is before them. It appears to me, quite frankly, that a lot of people got caught up in what they thought was a creative idea, but they lost their objective to place the true value on this commercial, which is this: it has destructive power in the hands of bullies. Secretary Clinton, you're a mother and so am I. A lot of people I've helped with their bullying issues or with their sexual abuse issues actually call me Mama Kaye. I've seen your commercial where you advertise your heart for children, and I find that that is very good. We need good mamas out there. The great thing about being mama, however, is that we get the opportunity to do a do-over. And I'm asking you to do one, as one mother to another. Make bullying the crime, not the political war between two presidential candidates. Stop your ad immediately. 2, in the same amount of money that you spend on this ad, and then a chunk more money, start an anti-bullying campaign. I ask you to do this after this election is over, and to make sure that it has no political influence at all. It's just out of the goodness of your heart, who loves children, start an anti-bullying campaign. Make it at least of the same value, if not more, than what this ad cost you. And trust me, I believe this ad cost you tens of millions of dollars. As one mother to another, I'm asking you to do a do-over. Do it for our children. And also, one last thing, I want you to apologize to the mothers in this campaign for putting their children at risk for bullying. Everyone deserves to continue to see the true heart of Hillary Clinton, which I believe really does care about children. Do your do-over. Do an anti-bullying campaign. Thank you, Secretary Clinton. Thank you so much. Now, that's the message that I want you to help me get out. Remember, I know nothing about tweeting. I know nothing about social network. I don't have a tweet account. I don't have a personal Facebook account. Blah, blah, blah. I just want you to help me stop the bullying in our country. Help me get that message out. Here's the next thing, and I told you at the top of this. I asked a couple of friends if they were familiar with a political commercial that was promoting things like this. I didn't show it to them. I just wanted to say if they had heard about it. All 5 people that I asked said absolutely they knew what it was, and they were very disturbed by it. Here's a couple of their comments. We are sincere about this. This has hurt a lot of people already in our country. I have faith that Hillary Clinton, Secretary Clinton, will make this right. You help me by clicking, they tell me to say click like, that you agree with the concept, and the first person to gets it to Hillary Clinton, I'll give him a big kiss. Thank you so much. This is Mama Kaye saying bye-bye for now.
Thank you, Mama Kaye, for bringing attention to this ad that is so biased as it relates to Black young women. I was pissed. I was furious when they made an implication in that ad about a big butt, and then they used a Black girl as an example of who has a big butt. She's standing there in the mirror and pulling her shirt away from her body, and they're in the background making implications that has something to do with the size of her butt. I was furious, and I thought to myself, what are the bullies going to do? They're going to take this and run with it. How dare them use our children in such a way?
Secretary Clinton, I want to appeal to you as one advocate of children to another. I was horribly bullied as a child, and my son was horribly bullied as a child. And the fact that you use these children in such a horrible way to in your political campaign is just unbelievable. These children are going to be taken, who are going to go back and deal with the bullying will affect them for the rest of their life. I wanted to ask you, do you want to be remembered for the person who ignited bullying of other children? Please take this ad down.
The fact that they used an African-American girl that had to pull her shirt to cover up her fat, that really upset me and made me mad. While we know these were words, hate words, that was used between 2 individuals, maybe at a beauty pageant, towards a beauty pageant contestant or something, they're utterly ridiculous to use over children. I'm a mother that has been bullied. I have children that have been bullied. We cannot allow ads like this to infect our children. So I agree with Mama Kaye. We're all mothers. Do a do-over. And after this campaign on your dime, do a campaign on anti-bullying.
Thank you, Dr. Kaye, for bringing awareness to Secretary Clinton's commercial, if that's what you want to call it. It actually was very disturbing. As I watched the video over and over again, I saw myself in those videos. I saw myself as a child growing up, not knowing who we are and becoming who we are. And we hear these words, and now you've put words to these thoughts and feelings and teaching people how to bully. That is not right. You're adding to the problem, not taking it away.